All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Early Morning Crypto Talk this Sunday morning with Bitcoin Brandon from Los Angeles, California. Taking time out of your schedule to hear some new crypto news. Go ahead and type in the chat box where you're listening in from. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button on the YouTube channel. See, we have Tracy Kubish. Well, Tracy, I don't know about the Cowboys. I'm a Rams fan. Bethany Gibbs from Seattle. Great video, Bethany. LaFoose from Laurel, Maryland. Tony Pinkston. Hey, Tracy, that M-I, crooked letter I. Where did I get that from? Mia X? Unladylike album? So I remember that from. New Orleans. Antoinette, good morning. Nicholas from Sweden, good morning. Rohan from ATL. Court Gomes from Florida. Anita Hudson. And Tracy from Mississippi. Oh, is that where that's from? Mississippi? I'm going off of a Mia X song. M-I, crooked letter I, humpback. As a disclaimer, I'm not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share suggestions, and it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move into. There's 4 rules I live by in the crypto space. Rule number 1, education is key. Education is everything. Rule number 2, never invest money you cannot afford to lose. Rule number 3, always get your investment back as fast as possible. And rule number 4, where do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? What are you willing to do to make it happen? Make a decision, take action, and remain focused. Do not get distracted. There's so many things out there that can distract you in this place. You have limited resources. Keep that in mind. Now, this is not going to guarantee you success, but it will at least minimize your risk. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the most that we can ask for. So let me get screen share all set up. How was the Spider-Verse movie? It was excellent. I see why Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 100 over 100. Very good movie. So if you have not seen Spider-Verse, go check it out. I was skeptical on how they were going to do that and pull it off, but it was very unique, very comic book flavor style, and most importantly, the kids enjoyed it, so that's all that matters. All right, let me screen share. Where is it? Here we go. Screen share and refresh. All right, here we go. First thing we do, let's take a look at the market. What's going on this morning with the markets? You guys like that article from yesterday? Donald Trump hired Mick Mulvaney, crypto enthusiast. That's a good move as far as the crypto space. Market cap is at 104 billion, so it's gained $3 billion since yesterday. Bitcoin dominance has dropped 0.2 percentage points, which meant some money went to the altcoins. See, the Bitcoin price is at 32.80, up 2.5%. Ripple is at 29 cents, up 2.68%. Ethereum, 4.3%. Litecoin is up 12%. Bitcoin SV jumped almost 20%, while Bitcoin Cash, 7.71%. Ripple still holding on to that number 2 spot that it overtook from Ethereum. Let's look at the best performers. 10X. Why is that familiar? I forgot what it is that 10X does. Bitcoin SV, Litecoin, Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Cash, EOS is up 7%. Dash, so the market looks pretty Pundi X up 5.4%. What's the worst performers over the last 24 hours? DEX. Any big ones? Mobile Gold, Decred. Nah, DEX is just the biggest loser at 14%, negative 14%. Paxos Standard. True USD. So the market looks pretty healthy this morning. Not too bad. Let's take a closer look. In fact, I did a buy order yesterday. I'm sorry, a sell order of my Bitcoin because I'm getting right back in. I couldn't wait for it to go back up to 3,800. I don't know when that would happen. And let's see, my trades 32.87. Did it complete? Let's take a look. Last price of Bitcoin 32.44. 397. So I am actually, since doing this last week, at a loss of $40 because I decided to sell when it was low, only so I can get back in the market and make money coming back up. So I was working with about 440. I'm at 397. So I need to get back in the game and do some trades today. So here's what I can do right now. Let this come back up. Let's take a look at the market more closely. I like it when I do this stuff live. Like Lorna made money the other day. She's actually flipped her money from 30 up to $100. Last price 32.44. Looks. And I am practicing a new technique I figured out by following what the big boys are doing. So I need to actually buy. What is the current? We got 30 Bitcoin in there. There's that bot again. 50 Bitcoin buying at 32.18. This was at 32.24. It's interesting. The price right now is 32.44. So these orders should have been going through. Oh, unless no, they're buying on the low. They're waiting for it to come back down. I see what they're doing. And it's anyone's game which way this might go. Yeah, I am going to mimic one of these. 32, it's a big one, 32.18. What does this guy know? 32.28. I like that number at a 32.28. Yeah, let's do that. Buyback 32.28. All of it. Buy. Buy order placed. Once it buys at this price, then I'll do a sell at 32.65. That's what they're going in there. So that'll be a profit. I bought at 32.28. I buy at 32.68. I'll make a couple bucks off of that. And rinse and repeat, and I will make back what I lost last week since I decided to sell at a low so I can get back in the game. All right, so let's go to, wait, what's going on in the chat box? Good afternoon, Jacqueline. Good morning, Lorna. Emil, I got to rewind this. I'm just getting on. Have a blessed day, guys. All right, yeah. Well, we're just getting started, so you haven't missed much. I just showed the charts, and I just did a buy order for Bitcoin. Since I'm going to be home watching football today and WWE pay-per-view, I'm going to be watching the charts all day. All right, let's get into some news. International news first. What's going on in Switzerland? Now, this is 17 hours old, and in the Bitcoin crypto world, that's like old news, how things pass. But let's take a look. What's going on in Switzerland? Switzerland to relax laws to accommodate blockchain and cryptocurrency startups. Anybody that's been listening to me for at least over a year now, you're starting to see a trend here with news that's coming out of international or other countries. Early on, it was all negative. It was all banning. It was all criminal activity stuff. We're slowly starting to see more positive news on crypto coming out of other countries. We've got a new chief of staff who is big on crypto. He started the blockchain caucus in Congress. We've got Switzerland wanting to relax laws to accommodate blockchain and crypto startups. We got France that wants to be leading the world in crypto development. The Swiss government has announced a new legislative approach to blockchain regulation in an official report. The document recognizes the technology as one of the most, hold up. Here, this should be a quote. The Swiss government says that they recognize the technology as the most important recent developments for the financial sector in stimulating the country's economy. So now they're starting to figure it out. Instead of always looking at it as negative, as criminal, as money laundering, as a threat to the banks, they're starting to say, well, wait a minute, this thing might actually stimulate our country's economy. Do you think that can also happen in the United States? It can stimulate. I mean, GM just cut 14,000 jobs. We are in a season of lowest job unemployment rate in a very, very long time. However, I also call that fool's gold for what's coming. All experts agree, and even the government has admitted that there's a high likelihood that we're going to be going into a recession in 2020. So much so that even on news, Fox and MSN and CNN are all talking about, will Donald Trump be one of the first presidents since I think it was Carter to be entering his re-election in a recession? They're all saying it. Who was it? IBM, no, Chase Morgan said 80% chance we are in a recession in the next 3 years, 60% in the next 2 years, and 40% before 2020. It's coming. There's nothing you can do to stop it, but you can prepare for it. But what if the government decides to do something radical before that and says, hey, look at what Switzerland's doing over there. Why don't we use this technology and stimulate the U.S. economy? What's the Swiss doing here? According to the report, the Swiss Federal Council's main focus is on ensuring the integrity and reputation of Switzerland as a financial center and on better positioning the country to exploit the opportunities offered by digitalization. One thing you know, that adaptation and change is inevitable. It's inevitable. Like Vladimir Putin said, the Stone Age didn't end due to the lack of stones. It ended due to the introduction of better technology. There are some jobs and industries that will be gone forever. Those jobs aren't coming back. But there will be new opportunities that take its place. And you have to adapt. You have to know this new technology. You have to learn this new skill set. That's an individual thing. The government's plan to create the best possible legal framework conditions so the country can continue to evolve as a leading and sustainable destination for fintech, blockchain, and innovative companies in a number of fields. Although the report discusses the risk of cryptocurrencies being used for illegal purposes, like the financing of terrorism, let me stop for a second. Have we ever seen any actual proof yet that some main terrorist organization is doing some big things because of crypto? I've never seen it. I've heard them state it. I mean, is El Chapo's organization being run off of crypto right now? That would be the dumbest thing, because then the government could track all of their wallets. Is ISIS running around, passing around Tether sticks? No. They're still using US dollars. But I digress. It maintains a positive attitude towards the technology, noting that the country's laws should be amended to recognize encrypted digital tokens that are not backed by any physical assets. I like that. The Federal Council also made clear that it wants decentralized financial transactions to have a place in the legal code. A lighter touch. The report mentions a proposal to give discretionary powers to the Swiss Financial Market Supervisory Authority, FINMA, to loosen regulations affecting decentralized securities trading platforms, as long as their activities do not harm investors. This regulatory approach circumvents current legislation enacted so as to be aligned with the EU's position on the subject. Swiss economist Lucius Meiser expressed his belief that this approach to legislation could prove much more effective in a written statement, saying, "This shows once again how the traditional Swiss approach of having principle-based laws that give a lot of discretion to citizens and regulatory agencies are much more innovation-friendly than overly detailed European-style laws." All right, I'm not going through all this. You get the idea now, because we're not Switzerland. We don't need to know the details of what they're doing. Just the fact that they're doing it. United States, let's wake up. All right, let's go on to Craig Wright. Any news about him I'm actually paying attention to. I used to ignore him, but he is an influencer. He wields a lot of power and influence behind him. So we got to pay attention to things he does and things he says. Let me post this in the chat box. Craig Wright says Bitcoin will power the new internet and banks are not the enemy everybody seems to think. Why did you throw in there about the banks? What's up with that? A statement like that sounds like something somebody back in Ripple would say. Not Bitcoin Cash. I mean, they're the rebels. They're the extreme rebels, the anarchists, the libertarians. Well, let's see here. What's he talking about? In a new interview with HiveX.com and Finder co-founder Fred Schebesta, Craig Wright, the self-proclaimed inventor of Bitcoin and chief scientist at nChain, spells out the future of Bitcoin mining rewards and why he believes MetaNet, which is being developed by nChain, will take over the world. This is a very, what's the word I want to use? I got to use the word dangerous. This is a very dangerous individual. That's why I'm watching him closely. He seems to be a little bit untethered, almost like a John McAfee. Genius at the same time, just kind of weird. To realize a Bitcoin economy, Wright says institutional adoption will be one of the first steps. That's true. We're going to have to go through, as I said, the use of a commodity ledger. We're going to have to get the commodity value. We're going to have to tokenize. We're going to have tokenized money. So with some of the platforms that are available now in Bitcoin Cash, it enables us to have, well, basically a US dollar that is approved by banks, not like Tether, but a real bank. What are you talking about? The only way you have a true stable coin is where you have a federal bank in the US or the Bank of England or something like that issue something. That will be one of the early stepping stones. Okay, no, stop right there. When you see that happen, that is not a cryptocurrency. And he's defeating the purpose. He's basically, wow, I'm surprised he said this. The entire point of Bitcoin is so that you don't have any type of reliance on anything to do with the government, the banks, or any authorities. We don't need the bank to validate our coins for it to be real. That's the whole freaking point. In fact, Craig Wright ripped Ripple just a couple of years ago for being tied to the banks. Called them traitors. So now, let me make sure I'm reading this right. The only way you have a true stable coin is where you have a federal bank in the US or Bank of England issue something. What the heck? That's completely the opposite of Bitcoin. Is he drinking again? Hey, I might be reading this wrong. You guys might be getting it the right way. Yeah, I like that one, JB Fitness. He's pulling a Kanye on us. Flipping the script. but maybe I'm not getting it. Let me keep reading. To power the internet and grow the global economy, Wright and his team are building MetaNet, a project designed to power and integrate the internet through the Bitcoin blockchain. It will be built on the Bitcoin SV to reflect what Wright says is the original Bitcoin protocol and design. Yet you want to use the bank? Has he sold out? Is that what they say? Everybody has a price? Let me keep reading. Wright explains how everyone's mobile phones will one day be engaged in buying and selling information in the global. Yes, I agree with that. That's why I said the 2019, it's the cell phone wars. It is all about that cell phone, because that cell phone is what connects people to the rest of the planet. People cannot survive without their cell phones, especially the generation, which one? I would say probably Generation X and below, and I'm Generation X. I know what life was like without a cell phone, but I can't imagine running around without one right now. I can survive, but it is my business. It is my source of income. You know, I'm not playing games on it all day long. It's my personal computer that's attached to me 24/7. That's why I'm very, very big on anything crypto to deal with cell phones. We need to be involved in one way or another. All right, so I agree with him there. His idea of MetaNet, which goes back to the 90s, is to build a network that can't be interrupted, doesn't have central hubs, and strips away the values of the current internet infrastructure. Okay, yeah, I agree with that. Basically, making something that is far more secure, that allows people to take control of their own lives. Okay, I'm with that. MetaNet also aims to drive business and introduce new ways of distributing web content and facilitating new e-commerce models through Bitcoin microtransactions. Okay, here we go. As for the banks, Wright says they're not the enemy. Really? Banks aren't the enemy that everybody seems to think they are. Okay, let me give you one example right now. I got a check, and I haven't gotten paid a check for my services in a very long time, but I want to give you an example. I had a check. I'm not telling you how much it was, but it was a lot. And that always makes me nervous if I get a check that much, because whenever I go to the bank, but it's been a while. So I went to the bank, right, deposited the check. And then you know what they told me? Yeah, we're going to have a 7-day hold on this. Mind you, that's 7 business day hold, which means that the funds wouldn't be available until December 26th. I'm like, are you kidding me? Well, yeah, we have to verify the funds are there from the other bank in this transaction, and you've been doing direct deposit for years, and this is one large amount, and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, there's nothing, absolutely nothing I can do other than, if I took that check, went directly to the bank that issued the check and cashed it out. That was the only thing I could do to have access to those funds early. That's what happens when you're messing with the banks. Now, if I had got paid that in crypto, that would have been immediate, minimum transaction, and no waiting time, no waiting period. So what are you talking about? Oh, the banks have a role. Okay, let me finish there. Let me see if I understand what Craig Wright's getting at here. So banks have a role. The problem is where banks are honest or corrupt, or whether they're debasing money, that sort of thing. Of course they are. They're not honest. They are corrupt. They pay you, I'm sorry. They charge you to put your money in their bank They take your money, make money off of it. They charge you a fee to withdraw. They charge you a fee to check your balance. They charge your fee if you have money that goes less than your savings account. And at the end of the year, they reward you with maybe 1% or 2% on your money for the year. For the year, when they might have been making that per day on your money. Your money sits in their bank account. It loses value every day. Then we have one bank branch in Europe that was charged with money laundering, over $200 billion from one branch. That's more than the entire crypto market combined. One branch did $200 billion in money laundering. If that was crypto, crypto would be dead and gone. Banks helped facilitate the 2008 crash. They knew that this stuff was illegal or that it was predatory, and they allowed it because they were making money from it. And then they had to get bailed out by the government. Banks too big to fail. What are you talking about, Craig Wright? If you say that Bitcoin SV is the original Bitcoin, you're going completely against why Bitcoin was started in the first place with a statement like this. But to be fair, I haven't finished. The problem is where banks are honest or corrupt, or whether they're debasing money, that sort of thing. So the big difference in what we have in something like Bitcoin is going back to an earlier standard of banking where people actually don't get to help terrorists move money, or money launderers move money because they get higher fees, where everything is then auditable, where there's no hiding things. We've seen some of the world's largest banks involved in terrorist funding or money laundering or any of these things. That's true. And they get a fine and a slap on the wrist, and that's it. And that's true as well. Who from the bank actually went to jail? That bank did $200 billion in fraud. Anybody go to jail? JP Morgan charged, or Jamie Dimon charged with market manipulation, found guilty. Did he go to jail? Nah, he just paid a fine. But imagine a world where there's enough transparency so that anyone can drop someone in and it can be traced back provably, where all those funds for people selling blood diamonds can be stopped, where people engaged in the illicit sex trade no longer have a means of funding any of their activities. That's what we changed banking to be. Okay, I'm with you so far. You want to change banking, okay? Something where it's actually about the honest distribution of money, where people can get a home loan, start a business, etc. Okay, now I can get with that. So you're talking about here changing how we bank. Now I can get with that. As for Bitcoin SV, a recent fork of Bitcoin Cash Wright intends to make it the Bitcoin that was originally intended. He said, what we're going to do is take it back to the original protocol. There's just a couple of little tweaks we can't do, not the original code. He says the protocol doesn't include security bugs, and those bugs, he promises, will be fixed. There will be no changes to Bitcoin's protocol, i.e., changing the economics of the system, adding changes to the number of Bitcoin, or changing the block discovery time. I am not smart enough to understand what he's talking about just yet because I'm not a programmer. I don't know the original Bitcoin protocol and changing the dynamics of it and the code and the tweaking it. It's above my pay grade right now because I don't have an interest in that. But I'm going to be following Craig very closely because he's up to something. And I don't know if it's out of desperation or he does have a long-term grandiose plan. I don't know. Andrew still says, which country do you think will be the first cashless in the world? It's probably going to be a country that is having major economic problems right now. Huge economic problems. So you're looking at Zimbabwe, Venezuela. The first European country might be Switzerland, or no, it's not going to be France. They're all still on the whole Euro and Brexit thing. Not Iran, not Russia, not China. It's going to be a nation that goes through an extreme crisis. United States, what will happen if the United States economy crashes? They'll go to the Fed coin. But I would say right now, leading the way, probably Venezuela. You know, I haven't done news on them lately, but I've been reading it. And they're now forcing all of their retirees and their pensioners onto the petro. The government is physically forcing everybody onto it. And understand the petro is not a cryptocurrency coin. It is what the Fed coin is going to be. It's a government-backed coin that they say is backed by oil. Who knows? But their crypto is not forced on people. They're forcing this petro on their citizens. But they're desperate. They have no choice. So yeah, I think it would be probably Venezuela. JB Fitness is right. How many years are we talking about? I would probably say before this year is out, or before 2019 is over for Venezuela. I'll say before next summer. They will have nothing but a cashless society. The question is, the difficulty is, if you are the only cashless society, then how do you interact with other nations that haven't moved to cashless just yet? So can you fully be a cashless society if you still need to do business in other countries? Will the other country accept your currency, your cashless currency? And it can't be the petro because the United States has already branded it as illegal. It's illegal for American citizens to own the petro and invest in it. So unless they move to Bitcoin like Zimbabwe's doing, then yeah, that can work. Zimbabwe has a US dollar as their official currency anyway. Japan, it could happen to Japan. Japan has already made Bitcoin legal currency in the nation. So the first westernized type country might be Japan or Switzerland. All right, last article up. Facebook. I've been saying this. The moment Facebook banned all crypto advertisements, I did a Facebook Live and I said, they didn't ban it because they want to protect you guys from illegal activities and whatnot. They did it because, one, they want to screw the Winklevoss twins, and two, they want to kill the competition and buy themselves time to come up with their own crypto deal. I said that back in January and February. Now look where we are today with Facebook. The year's not even over. Facebook aggressively hiring blockchain devs. Now, here's another thing you guys hear me say in the Bitcoin boot camp. You only have two choices when it comes to crypto. You have a choice to get involved now and profit from it. But if you're that individual who still thinks it's a scam, it's a Ponzi, it's not real, it's not backed by government, I mean, cash is king, and you're going to retire off your savings or your 401k, and you don't believe in this home-based business nonsense, you believe in a security of a 9-to-5 job, and it's okay to believe that. At the end of the day, your beliefs are irrelevant, but it's okay to believe it. But if that's the path you want to take, because that's all you know, if you want to be able to survive, because you're definitely not going to thrive with that mentality. So if you just want to survive, because you can survive with that mentality. Most people are living paycheck to paycheck anyway. They're surviving. They're not thriving. Then understand the jobs of the future are going to demand that you know this skill set, something to do with blockchain, distributed ledger technology, cryptocurrency. You need to know the language. You need to know this technology if you want to get the jobs of the future. And now we see Facebook aggressively hiring blockchain devs. I was at the Blockchain Expo, and I did that interview with the guy from Blockchain University or Blockchain Education, where they got contracts to start crypto courses in the UC school system. And the guy straight up told me, he said that they are being funded by businesses that need more qualified labor force that understands blockchain and Bitcoin stuff. So they're paying for these courses and sponsoring these courses in colleges to train the next generation of workers to know this technology. It's a brand new skill set. And if you're sitting there with your nose up and ears closed to this coming revolution, and you think that you can just avoid it, you're going to have a rude awakening next time you go in for a job interview, or your job's going to tell you guys, all right, we're now starting weekend courses or special courses for you to teach our employees about crypto. You're going to feel silly when that happens. And now, just to maintain, forget about trying to get rich, just to maintain your check, you got to know about crypto. That's going to be a gut check for a lot of people. Anyways, let's read. Facebook has embarked on an aggressive hiring spree to woo crypto experts to expand its blockchain group amid speculation that the social media monopoly is considering launching its own cryptocurrency. Facebook formed its blockchain unit in April 2018 with David Marcus, the former president of PayPal and VP at Messenger. Wow, you see that? We see PayPal partnering up with Coinbase. Now we see PayPal, or former execs of PayPal, partnering up with Facebook. Facebook's blockchain group now has 40 employees. Isn't that interesting? Just earlier this year, they were banning anything crypto. The year's not over, and they've got 40 employees on this project, including half a dozen ex-PayPal executives that Marcus poached from his former employer. Facebook eyes blockchain-based payment products. This is the real deal. Facebook's got over 1 billion people coming to their site every day. You want to see crypto have mass adoption? Let Facebook or Amazon or Google or Twitter or Instagram do anything with crypto as far as payments and stuff, and watch how fast the world adopts this. So I see what Zuckerberg is doing here. He's like, I already got 1 billion customers. What if we come out with our own coin? The secretive unit, why is it secretive? What are they up to? The secretive unit includes people who have worked on Google Pay and Samsung Pay, a mobile payment and digital wallet service from Samsung, the world's largest manufacturer of semiconductors and smartphones. They've been very quiet about what they've been working on, of course, because they don't want the competition to know. Winklevoss Twins is watching them too. Very stealthy, but it's definitely going to be some kind of blockchain-based cryptocurrency payments product. I bet you this is going to be unveiled 2019. Facebook is also considering launching a cryptocurrency that would enable its 2 billion users around the world to make electronic payments without the need for a traditional bank. They've already got policy people in DC to ramp this up. Let's see. Alex Heath says, also talk Facebook blockchain. Top takeaways are that Facebook's brand is a problem for recruiting in the space and is going to likely do meaningful M&A to achieve its goals. Accordingly, Facebook is trying to hire crypto-savvy engineers, product managers, academics, and legal experts to expand its blockchain group. They're actively recruiting, said Cheddar's Alex Keith. They're also trying to scoop up crypto startups that are at the white paper level, which means they don't really even have a product yet. Isn't that what businesses were doing during the dot-com era? Big companies trying to scoop up all the dot-com ideas just because a nerd in his basement knew how to develop a website, had no product, just an idea, and then they get paid $50 million for it. That's what Facebook's doing right now. Facebook is going really hard after recruits. Hield said Facebook is in hot pursuit of gifted recruits because the talent pool is relatively shallow since the crypto ecosystem is still in its infancy. Can we talk about right place at the right time? You guys are still here at the infancy. The talent in this industry is so finite. And there are so many big players wanting these talented cryptographers and academics, Heath said. So Facebook is going really hard at them, and they're having difficulty. Facebook is having a lot of trouble with their recruiting efforts due to its numerous recent data privacy scandals that have eroded the public's trust in the corporate juggernaut. A lot of people don't trust Facebook. A lot of the people obviously don't trust Facebook's brand right now, especially people in the crypto blockchain world. A lot of them got into this industry because of the centralization and the data misuse of companies like Facebook. Many users are furious after learning that Facebook has been selling their personal data without their consent to third parties for profit. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg has apologized for the debacle, but the damage to its credibility and to Facebook's brand continues to reverberate. So the idea of Facebook creating a cryptocurrency and a digital economy within its ecosystem is either incredibly exciting, if you talk to some people, or one of the scariest things in the world, if you talk to others. It's both. It's very polarizing, but they are actively building this up. I think we can expect to see Facebook buy some companies up in the crypto space in the next year. I agree with that. It's going to happen. All right. That is it for the news for today, for early morning crypto talk. Hope you guys learned something new. As always, that is the point. Let's see if the market has done anything different since I began speaking. It is still at about the same where it was. Let's see, what's the last price? It's gone down a little bit. I actually want it to go down. What, Brandon? Why do you want it to go down? Remember, I just put a buy order in at 32.28. Whoa! Look at that. The last price, 32.29. Hit that mark. Hit that mark. 32.28. See the buy orders there, 32.28. Hit that mark, 32.28, so I can buy. And the moment that happens, I'm going to put in a sell order. See, this is why I stopped doing day trading, because I would get too excited and my blood pressure get all up, watching this thing like a hawk all doggone day, getting stressed. But anyways, there it goes, 32.28.86. So it's got to go. I did 32.28.00. And then my trade will be triggered. Come on, hit that mark. So once that happens, let me see what are the sell orders I can be prepared. They got sell orders at 32.55. Okay. So if that's at 32.28, we're right here at this mark. 32.50. If it comes back up this mark, oh yeah, I'm gonna make some money. All right, yeah, I'm going to be watching this. There we go. Look at that, 32.28.01. Hit just 00. It was like you're at Vegas or something. What's the 32? What's that 50 Bitcoin? 32.08. So he's dropped it. This bot keeps dropping it. It wasn't at 32.08 before. Come on, what's the next one? Let's see if this happens while I'm still live. And I see the trend. It's going down, but the bottom one came up a bit. That's 24 hours. What's the 6-hour chart look like? Yeah, it's starting to squeeze real big. Come in tight. 3228.01. Still sitting there. Lowest 31.79, high 32.92. Come on, hit that mark so I can put in my sell order. So you guys see how this is working? Lorna said you was watching it like a hawk as well, huh? This is when I first got started. This is what I was doing, and I had to stop because I didn't want my days to be sitting in front of watching this all doggone day. But I learned how to flip the money. So the little bit of money I made from doing this, I flipped into the other things. That's how I made I didn't make 6 figures trading. I made $30 to $300 trading. And then I flipped that into 6 figures. Doesn't take a lot, but I always had a goal. And it's back to my goal of I want to put $10,000 in this account, and I am not going to use my own money. I could put $10,000 in there. I'm going to earn that $10,000 from trading. I'm going to take the profits. I'm going to flip this sucker up to 10K. Then I can get to a point where I'm making $100 to $300 a day. If I'm making 1 to 3% a day on my own trades, isn't that what in 2017 the bots were predicting? The bots, oh yeah, we're gonna guarantee you 2% a day. What if you were able to? Do you guys realize BitConnect was a real bot? It actually was trading, and we figured out that the thing was doing more than 5% a day. 5%. They were paying out anywhere between 0 to 1.6, 1.7%. And keeping the profit of the rest, making a killing. But if you don't know how to do that yourself as an individual, you're good. I could figure out how to do maybe 2 trades a day at 0.5% or 1% each trade. And I'm trading with $10,000, $100, $300 a day. What does that come out to for those of you that's not good at math? Let's even worst case scenario. Let's say $100 a day. That's $3,000 a month. That's not bad. Why is that still sitting there at 3228.01? That's killing me. I only need 1 cent. Come on, y'all. 1 penny. This is exactly, I'm having flashbacks now of what I was doing back then. Anyways, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. What other news that I might cover tonight? I'm stalling right now, but let's see. Donald Trump hires prominent Bitcoin supporter Mick Mulvaney to White House staff. Yeah, I covered that yesterday. Andrew, so what about trading bots? Yeah, you could trust trading bots. You give it the right one. If they have a history of performing well. KGX will be launching one in 2019. That's legal, by the way. And that price ain't moving. It's been more than 5 minutes. It is sitting right there. I think that's because all of these buy orders, 32.29, 32.28. There's my order right there. See that? That's my buy order. $397, 32.28, and I'm the only one at that price. Interesting. So when you guys put your buy and sell orders, it pops in here that you can see it as well. See, and I went higher than this guy, the bot. The bot's not doing it, selling until 32.08. And then I'm going to put a sell order in. I'm going to actually follow the bot this time. I'm going to put that sell order in at 32.55. But it's got to buy it first, and it's still sitting there. Tony said, "You're watching it too hard." That's right. Because I'm staring at it, it's not moving. What is CoinMarketCap telling me? What's their latest price move? CoinMarketCap has it at 32.67. So that hasn't updated itself like real time. We're still at 3228.01. It's stuck right there. Go up or down, do something. What's my 15-minute chart looking like? Yeah, it's below the middle bar and it's starting to squeeze. If it breaks out, I see it going down further. I'm tempted to want to drop my price even more, even lower, so I can buy more. But no, I want to get in the game. It's microtransactions, but I'm trying to go for the home run. 5 minute again. I don't even see too much happening here. The thing is stagnant. All right, that's it. Lauren says, once I placed an order and it was done right away, it happened so fast, huh? It did. It happened fast. And I'm sitting here on 1 penny. It's not moving. So I know how I can stretch this out. This is probably the last, what do you want to say, productive week before Christmas. Those of you in KGX, make sure you paid attention. Oh, I didn't post it yet. Our training from yesterday, our Saturday training. So let me go ahead and post that right now. Go to watch that training because we definitely covered some things. Well, what is this? Memories. 1 year ago. What did I say 1 year ago? Did I just do an image? There is nothing more satisfying in life than to be doing what makes you happy. Helping people along the way and getting paid to do it. Looking forward to 2018. Oh, and shutting up the haters with your success. That was 1 year ago today. And now 2018 is, it just went past us in the blink of an eye. I'm going to repost that. So let's go to our community group. And post up the training from yesterday. It's the recording from Saturday training. Hope you guys got something from that one as well. How to build your business, regardless of what product or company you're selling. It's all about the people. All right. Will something have changed? No, it's still sitting at 3228.01. I couldn't have done just like 32.29. $1. All right. Anyways, that's it for. It went up. It went to 32.29. So my order still sits. Oh, whatever. It happens. So we'll see if it gets lower. Then I'll be watching this like a hawk today, though. I'm gonna do at least 2 or 3 trades today, make maybe 3 to 4%. All right, everybody, have a great day. I will see you. If anything major happens, we'll be back for a late night crypto talk tonight. If I do a couple of these trades, I will definitely be back just to show you guys the results. Have a great day. God bless. Bye-bye.